Well, it is morning, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a really pretty bird on the bird feeder right now. Well, it flew away. There it was on the bird feeder. And as far as the sunrise goes this morning, well, it was nice, but nothing special. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it, and if I do something with it, it probably will not be time-lapse, and it will be attached to the end of the video. It just was, at least it wasn't raining, let's put it that way. Now, what I'm doing here is, if you remember, when in the rollback, and when we did the flyover in Stefan Drambinski's CGI, it looked like the roofs of these things was white, or almost white. Now, I don't know if I want to use white here or not. So I was just looking through my extra paints that I like. These are the common colors that we normally use. Well, we haven't used the Hull red for a long time, but we used the deck tan, and we used the 77, and we used the 19. But the 19 is the lighter gray. I was hoping to find something just a little bit lighter than that. Now, I vowed that I wasn't going to mix paint anymore, because it just, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to swallow my pride and add a little bit of white to the 19, and then after we're through here, just throw it out. Just don't mix up a whole lot of it. I don't know yet what I'm going to do today. Anyway, let's get going and do something. I think what I will do is I'm going to paint the where the motor is on this one here. I'm going to paint that a darker color, probably the 77. Was it 77? Yeah, probably the 77. That'll contrast pretty good. I do know that old motors and stuff like that, they used to use dark green a lot, but maybe that's just ones that I happen to see. Anyway, let's get going here. We are almost exactly the way we left off at the end of the last episode. In fact, the last episode isn't going to air for almost 2 hours. But, all right, I went on the Stefan Drambinski's CGI drawing. That's the animated one. And I did not find or see any boats that were like this that had a cab over top of the engine. Now there was some that were similar to this, but nothing like this. There were some that were similar to these. Now, I don't know if this is a sort of an idea the Trumpeter had, that maybe the boat was like this, or maybe at one time they did have a boat that looked like that. At first I thought, did I maybe have this upside down, and it was supposed to go this way, and this is supposed to be like a well that you stood in? But no, it has to go like this. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the Revell here, and I'll try and do one on camera. Maybe we'll do this one on camera. It'd probably be the easiest. And my plan is to just go around the ledge, just a little bit. It doesn't even have to go all the way around. Just maybe a little bit on both sides, and then try to carefully put this in place so that I don't get any of this glue showing, because it's gonna sort of glint when the light shines on it just wrong. So that's the plan right now. And as far as my coffee goes, there's still lots of coffee left from this morning. No flies. Okay. Oh, one of the viewers had an idea. He says you take tuna fish tins and you put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it, and then a drop of dish detergent to break the surface tension, and the fruit flies will land in it to get a drink. I guess maybe the smell of the apple cider attracts them or something. I think I just might try that. Yeah, thanks for the idea. Now here's hoping that the blue tack is not going to wreck this on me. I want to just try and get it right on the keel there. There. Now we can put that on the rotator. It's not going to flop around when I try to touch it with the applicator. Now sometimes when I try this on camera, it turns out to be a complete disaster. Like somebody decides they're going to mow their grass right in front of my window. But I guess I shouldn't complain, right? They're probably mowing my grass. Alright, now as I mentioned, it's not going to take a whole lot. We just have to hold this in place. Now, I would think that will be good. And I don't see, well, I do see a little bit oozing out there, but I don't think we're going to see that. In fact, I'm almost sure we won't. Unless we use the macro lens or something. Okay, I think for this one I'm going to have to use Tony's tweezers. Those other tweezers are just a little bit too maybe I can use the other ones for pushing down. They don't want to fit in there very good. Okay, let's check it. You can see a little bit of glinting, you might say. Okay, I'm going to remove it from the blue tack right away. I think there's probably less of a chance of it marking the bottom of the hull if we get that blue tack off of there right away. Let's check it out here. Trying to do this so that you can see it. Yeah, I'm not seeing any staining, you might say, from the blue tack. Okay, I do believe this one here is the largest. Whoop! Hope that's not going to show. No, I don't think that's going to show. I'm not seeing it anyway. Okay. And we're not seeing any staining. Now here's something I want to show you. About a couple of minutes has passed, and I went and I thought, I'll just make sure it's seated. So I pushed it down, and what has happened here is that the plastic was, you might say, turning into sprue goo, and it kind of oozed out around the edges there. You can, pretty sure you should be able to see that. If I'd stop poking at it, that is. I'm probably putting on way more than necessary. Story of my life, right? Over paint, over glue. Okay, this time we're not going to push on it after it's, we're just going to let it sort of meld together. Okay, we have two boats exactly like this. As far as I know, the other ones were, each one had a slight difference. Now, oh, once again, I don't think we're going to see that. But we're going to know it was there. That one did not go in as well as I thought it could. You notice here the glue was a little bit too thick, and it's dissolved the deck tan. I might touch that up with a little brush later. Okay, now the other boat being exactly the same. Well, maybe I'll do that on camera too, see if I can do a better job and not have this sort of thing happen. Okay, now this time try and put a little bit less on, okay? I guess what's happening is it's sort of slipping down on me. You know what, I wonder if I should have done a dry run on this one. This one doesn't want to fit very good. Oh, there it goes. Now, what have we got going on right here? What happened there? Is that a place where I didn't touch it up with the lighter gray? Okay, I think it's better though. Now, this is boat number 20. It's the one that has the two propeller shafts. And this will be the last one that I'll do on camera. The remaining 5, I'll just get them done. Now, I'm not too worried if it runs down the inside on this one, because it's, you know, we don't see the inside anyway. But on the other hand, I don't want it to be oozing up. Okay, I think we did a fairly good job on that one. I can see glinting though. Well, it's going to be a good strong joint. And I don't know if you can see it, but I can see where the plastic, where the Revell glue is starting to dissolve the plastic there. You can sort of see it right along this side right here, this seam right here. At least I can. Maybe I'm not turning it so the light hits it right for you. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do the other 5. So it was about probably an hour ago I went out and I filled up our bird feeder. And when I was pouring the seed down into the hopper, I was noticing that the wind was blowing the chaff off. And it got me to wondering just how much of this is seed and how much of it is useless seed husks. So I'm going to take a sample of it and take a look with the macro lens. I'll show it to you if you want to see it. And anyway, what do we got here? Sunflower seeds, sunflower kernel, safflower, whatever that is, red millet, I don't know what that is either, cracked corn, and wheat. Well, wheat I know. Over here we got bird food. Now I read that. Uh-oh. Guess I'm going to start tweeting. Okay, I don't think we need too much, but I would like to get an average sample here. I think that's probably more than enough. Alright, now we'll stick on the macro lens. Well, obviously that's a sunflower seed. This is probably a sunflower seed kernel. This is probably one of those that I didn't know what it was. I don't know what these little red ones are. It looks like everything is what you might say nourishing. And what I saw blowing off in the wind was probably just dust. I was noticing that the side of that tuna fish tin, I'm going to have to wipe that off. So yeah, it looks like it's all good stuff. Not like it's a bunch of junk. That's what I was concerned about, that that I was paying for stuff that wasn't nourishing for the birds. Anyway, the decks are all mounted. They're all glued in place. If I've made any mistakes, it's too late now. I don't think there'd be any way I could get those apart. But I don't think I'm going to have to. And Jonathan's mug is empty. Yeah. It's not very often that I drink all of it. Usually what happens is I'll drink half to a little better than half. But today, I don't know, I sort of had a hankering for coffee. Now, as for what are we going to paint the roofs of the cabs, or whatever you want to call this part that I'm touching right now. And I think I'm probably going to use the light gray, or maybe, well, I don't think white would be good. I think the light gray would be better, and that way it will contrast. Now, you probably can't see it, but there are windows on the sides here. I don't know if I'm going to try and detail those or not, like paint them gloss, some sort of a gloss black or something. I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking out loud again. Yeah, but it's really funny about this, the part that I'm touching right now. it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to appear in any pictures that I've seen, but, maybe it was. Oh, and the engine here, obviously that would be probably black or very, very dark gray. Now, it could have been a dark green, too, in reality. Who knows what it was painted. But I want it to show up, so I want to try and see if I can paint it without getting the paint down onto the deck itself. All right, enough talking here. I think I notice my voice is starting to go, so I think it's time to say we'll see you in the morning. So all being well, we'll be seeing you in the morning, and in about it looks like 27 minutes from right now, today's episode will be live. Now, I imagine that today's episode that I was talking about there in the rollback, most of you will have seen that already. And once again, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that this blue tack does not seem to damage the bottom of the hull. And okay, now I'm going to want this to the center rotation to be right there in the middle, so we're going to be wanting to paint this. So we'll have to stick it sort of lopsided, you might say. Now, all being well, the center of that should stay centered. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, let's recompose here, and I'm going to use the 77 on the top of the engine cover. Now, when you get moved right in like this, you can see that Trumpeter's gone to a lot of effort, or somebody in the design department, or whatever you call it, to get lots of detail in there. Like, I don't have any paint on my little brush yet, but like there's the drive shaft right there, and some other stuff, a couple of little boxes or so on. If somebody wanted to take the time, they could paint that, and I suppose you could delicately try and paint the drive shaft. I don't think I'm going to try that, though, because I just know I'm going to get it onto the deck 10 where it's not supposed to be. So I'm just going to be painting this part and this larger part right here. Now, what's this going on right here? I think that's some kind of... Is that paint, or is that some sort of flashing? I have to hold this down here. Maybe this isn't the best tool to use. Maybe that's not the best tool to use either. How about the photo etch tool? This will get most of that off, and if I think of it later, then I'll Okay, a couple of minutes has passed here, and I'm noticing that I didn't get it all. Well, that's better. Now what I've done is I've opened up my deck 10, and I'm just going to touch that up. May as well just do that whole area there. I'm pretty sure that when that dries, it's going to blend right in and we won't even see this little repair job. Okay, now I'm going to have to clean my brush. Okay, about 5 minutes has passed here, I think, and I've cleaned my brush, and this repair job is blended right in. You can hardly see it. Now, let's okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I might have to turn this and it'll get out of your field of view. What should I do? I think I'll go down and try and get as close to the bottom as I can. I'm going to have to turn this, I'm sorry. Now I'd sooner have the deck tan run up the side of the motor. Now I realize it's getting out of your field of view, but okay, that's a little bit much on the brush. Probably going to want to do a second coat because at least we'll do a second coat on the top. Just trying to get into that corner here, and it's let's try and go across the back here. Now we can get down just a little closer to the deck. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, let's let that dry. Well, maybe just in here. Whoops. Okay, that's from a distance, like arm's length. I think that's going to be all right. Maybe when I do the second coat, I might be able to go up just a little bit closer to that seat. I'm going to try it right now. Okay, let's let that dry. Oh, maybe on this side right here. Oh, it's not working. Go like this. Sorry, you can't see it now. don't know if I made it better or not. Okay, let's leave that. I don't know, maybe I won't give it a second coat. Maybe I just best leave well enough alone here. Now, the ones that have a cab, like this. Okay, so we're going to want to paint that a lighter color. I think I'm probably going to just use the number 19. And from the Stefan Drambinski's CGI, it looked like it went, you know, it was the entire box, you might call it, right down to the deck was the lighter color. So I'm going to do that too. It would be much easier to just paint just the top, but I'm going to just see if I can't go down without actually touching the deck. I mean, that's the plan. Okay, another slight change in plans here. Now, some of you are going to remember that I did something like this when we did the Bismarck, but I can't remember what it was that I stuck on the end of here because I wanted to rotate it. I think it had to do with painting, but I'm not sure. Now, here's the thing. When I'm painting like this, I find it a lot easier to, like, in other words, it's a little bit harder to go down and not touch the deck, okay? But now, a moment ago, I had the sudden fear that I was getting a little bit aggressive when I was shoving this down into the blue tack, and I remembered afterwards that there were some delicate little parts here that I could have bent. And, okay, so here's the new plan. We're going to take and stick this on here, like so. Now, I don't think that's going to catch on the table. It might. Oh, it's going to just miss it. Okay, and the center rotation will stay good for the macro lens. Should I want to show you close up my terrible painting? It always looks better further back. I mean, look at how good this looks, okay? It looks pretty good, right? But once you get up close, then you see all the flaws. Now, we've been through that before. Okay, let's recompose here. Now, oh yeah, I have a bad habit of getting off of the subject. Now, I find it a lot easier if I can sort of steady my hand and just sort of go in and just go like this, okay? And then, you know, turn it 90 degrees and do the other side. Then we'll do the roof part last. That's the plan. The new plan. Okay, you're probably going to notice that I've switched boats here and I put the other boat back on my new jig, I guess you could call it. And my plan is I want to see if I can't get a little closer to the deck. Not that anybody's going to notice anyway. I'm not going to video it. I'm just going to show you afterwards how it went. I didn't realize how much video I had taken working on this little part here. But I think that I can probably steady myself a little better like this. At least once again, that's the plan. But, you know, that's going to I'll have to show you this in tomorrow's episode. Because Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get a coffee visitor. Today is Monday, and this video is already way over half an hour long. I gotta get going here. So thanks for watching, everybody. And oh, sorry, there's not going to be a sunrise, but you're not missing anything anyway. It wasn't that spectacular. Yeah, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow, and I'll show you how it went. I'm going to work on this a little later, this evening or maybe later this afternoon. We'll see how it goes. Bye for now.